So hello everyone, welcome to today's discussion. We're going to talk to you, we've got three institutions joining us today. We're going to talk about college and university programs for pre-med, business, and arts. Each one of us panelists will go ahead and introduce ourselves, and then we'll talk about what our institution has in these fields. So my name is Wilda Connect. I'm an admission counselor from Hanover College. And I'm going to start us off when we talk about these programs.
Hi everyone, I'm Areza Kashani and I'm the Director of International Admissions at Northern Illinois University.
Hi, I'm Carmen Aravena, Director of International Admission at Milligan University, also in Illinois. And welcome to our little chat over here.
Just a little quick reminder, if you have any questions during our presentation, feel free to pop those in the Q&A. One of us will try to get to answering those questions best as we can, but then after our presentation, we'll have a moment for questions and answers out loud as well. So a little bit about Hanover College. We are a small private liberal arts college located in southern Indiana. We sit right alongside the Ohio River. We were actually established in 1827 as the first private institution in Indiana. Our 650-acre campus houses miles of hiking trails, over a dozen waterfalls, and we actually have 3 different forest reserves that our science programs use as living laboratories. As far as our size goes, we see about 1,071 students, so we are really small. As far as international student population goes, we do have 31 current international students. They represent 14 different countries. There are some on campus, luckily, with us this year, and then others are residing at home and hope to join us in January. As far as campus life goes, 96% of our students reside on campus, and actually 1/3 of our faculty also lives on campus. We are a Division III institution. Where we have 23 different varsity sports through the NCAA, and we actually compete very highly with about 50% of our student population as student athletes. We'll talk about some of our academic programs. We do offer undergraduate degrees. We have a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor of Science degree in 34 different majors. So today we're going to focus on business pre-med programs and the fine arts studies at each of our campuses. So at Hanover College, our business program is actually housed in what we call the Business Scholars Program. So the Business Scholars Program is a traditional business education with the added practical real-world experience, which creates a highly sought-after career-ready graduate. So our Business Scholars Program, or what we call as the BSP, houses our business major and minor. It also has a couple of different career readiness tips for students. So for example, our business scholars students will participate in workshops, which include business etiquette, teaming skills, personal finance, and creative brainstorming. I see someone's raising their hand. If you've got a question, feel free to pop your questions in the Q&A. Oh, it says that you can't hear me. Oh no, Carmen and
yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Hopefully that's not the whole time. In our Business Scholars Program, our students also participate in a paid project-based internship in their field of interest. This is one of the most highly sought after parts for our particular program, just because students can kind of get their foot in the door with business, which is very important. Our business major has 5 different concentrations. So in addition to your business degree, you can have a specialty concentration in marketing, management, finance, analytics, and international business. The 6th one, the technology and design management, is on its final leg of creation. Sorry about that. On its final leg of creation and hopes to open up this coming fall. The pre-medical program and the health and science program at Hanover College is also a little unique, just in that the pre-med, or the course of study for medical school, is a graduate level. So as an undergraduate, we help prepare students for their next step at the graduate level by putting them through a rigorous academic course, but then supplementing that with some other opportunities for medical internships, partnering with professionals in the field, and working at a local hospital. So our pre-med and health and science program is geared for any student that is studying pre-med, pre-health, pre-vet, pre-dentistry, pre-PT or OT, and then also our nursing program. These are common pre-professional programs that you might see at a college or university that doesn't offer the graduate level degree. We actually have a nursing dual degree, which is where students earn 2 bachelor level degrees in either 3 or 4 years, depending on, in either 4 or 5 years, depending on their program. So it's with Hanover alongside a partner university in Indiana or Kentucky. So the health science program is designed to basically enrich the students' experience with gaining opportunities inside of working at hospitals. It's also a great opportunity for students that are interested in the medical field to get into a doctorate of medicine program at another institution. So some of the benefits for health and science program is that you have one-on-one advising, both academic and career advising on campus. Basically, this helps students navigate the health field in their next steps. We also offer a variety of panel presentations with respect to either individual fields in the health careers, how to apply to medical or health career programs or graduate programs, certification of practicum opportunities, and any other interest panel that would be interesting to students looking at this field. We also have career and graduate program resources to help prepare students, such as testing practices, application sessions, resume building workshops, and financial aid programming. Our health science program also houses our unique medical scholars externship. This is an externship that can be used for either academic credit or not. It is a 10-week clinical rotation in a local hospital or individual private practices around the surrounding area of the campus. We have basically a rotation within all disciplines, and it can either go towards your academic credit or you can do it on the side. It is a competitive program because you essentially have a physician in their field working on what they need. Some of our most common pre-med majors are biochemistry, biology, chemistry, kinesiology with integrated physiology, and then health and movement studies. And then lastly, at Hanover, we are a liberal arts education. That doesn't mean we have only arts, but we do have quite a few. Some that kind of take the cake are arts and design and our art history programs, which include a variety of different actual art creation and then study abroad programs, including a program in Belgium for our art history majors. Our music program, we have instrumental and vocal. There's a list of the different instrumental ensembles that we have on campus. We also have a music scholarship available to all students who wish to continue their music studies, and the majority of our music students on campus are not music majors. And then lastly, theater, which is kind of one of our claim to fames. We have a variety of different acting and directing studies that students actually on campus can write, cast, direct, and produce their own plays on campus to the public. So I think it's going on to Arezu.
All right, hi guys. So once again, my name is Arezu Kashani, and I'm the Director for International Admissions at Northern Illinois University. So Northern Illinois University, or NIU, as we like to shorten it to, we were founded in 1899 as the Northern Illinois State Normal School. So we are actually currently celebrating our 125th anniversary this year. We are located in DeKalb, Illinois, which is right in the heart of the United States. It is a unique blend of peaceful suburbs, rich farmland, and big city resources. We are located about 105 kilometers west of downtown Chicago, so roughly about 45 minutes to an hour by car, depending on traffic. We are a mid-sized research public institution. We are actually recognized by the Carnegie Foundation as a high research activity institution. So what does that mean? That means that our NIU students, both undergrad and graduate students, are able to be given the opportunities to grow and develop their research skills and start all of this from their freshman year. We have a total student population of 16,679 students, and And out of that, we have roughly a little over 1,200 students that are international students, and they represent over 75%, 75 different countries. Our international student body makeup is about 5%, so it is a pretty small international student population, but like I said, they are very diverse. At NIU, we do offer programs in 7 degree granting colleges. We have over 100 undergraduate majors and minors and 7 pre-professional programs, which include pre-medicine. And we have over 80 graduate programs plus our Juris Doctorate from the College of Law. So next, I'll discuss a little bit about our business program in our College of Business. So our College of Business is one of our 7 degree granting colleges. It is actually where we see many of our international students currently studying due to the popularity of our business programs. So we offer 7 undergraduate programs, with all having programs that you can continue on for your master's degree. Our top chosen programs by students are primarily our accounting and finance, our business administration, and our operations and information management. Our operations and information management program is primarily a top program for our graduate students. Our College of Business is among an elite 4% of business schools worldwide to hold the AACSB International Accreditation at all levels, so both bachelor's and master's. It is the most respected and highest credential of excellence worldwide for business and accounting schools. Our undergraduate business program is listed among the best in 2020 and for 33 consecutive years based on the US News World Report and #1 return on investment in Illinois. Most of our undergraduate students upon graduating will either start working at well-known firms such as Deloitte, PwC, or even Google, or they will continue on to their master's degree. There are plenty of opportunities for scholarships within the College of Business itself, as well as throughout NIU as a whole. And when it comes to our internship opportunities, being so close to the city of Chicago allows students the opportunity to have internships and work opportunities right downtown. So next is our arts program, which is a part of our College of Visual and Performing Arts School. The college divides the programs into 3 different schools. So we have our School of Art and Design. Within this school, you will find 4 major undergraduate programs and 5 graduate programs, including 1 doctoral program. For our graduate programs, as part of your application, you will have to upload a portfolio of your work depending on your area of study. Then we have our School of Music, where you will find 2 undergraduate programs in music and 2 at the graduate level. For the School of Music, not only does a student have to be admitted to the university as a whole, but they will also be applying to the School of Music separately. You will have to go through an audition to showcase your work, and they will then make the decision to whether or not to admit you to the School of Music. Lastly is our School of Theater and Dance, where students can study one of 4 undergraduate degrees or one of 5 graduate programs. Similar to our School of Music, you will need to audition as part of the admissions package. Now, once again, being close to the city of Chicago gives students enormous professional exposure with opportunities to audition to summer stock companies, internship at major regional theaters, and to work as assistants and designers for many of the hundreds of producing organizations that call Chicago home. Some of the areas where students have gone on to intern include our Chicago Shakespeare Theater, the Lyric Opera of Chicago, the Steppenwolf Theater Company in Chicago, and we have plenty of alumni that are currently actively working in film, television, and on stage in New York and LA, all over regional theaters as well as overseas. There are also plenty of hands-on opportunity within the colleges itself, especially within our School of Music. You have the opportunity to become a part of our musical ensemble. So for example, if you play the steel pan, we actually have one of the most renowned and respected programs in the world. We've attracted students from all over the world as they can study both their bachelor's and master's degree. Students in the program actually have to participate in our NIU Steel Band, which performs both on and off campus. So the next slide, you will see all of our programs for pre-med. So at NIU, we do not have a medical school. However, that does not mean that you cannot start your studies to get into medical schools. So unlike other programs, you don't receive your medical school degree after your first 4 years. So unlike a business program where you follow your program for your 4 years, medical school, you have to put in a little bit more work. So similar to Hanover, students typically choose a major, whether it be in the sciences like biology or chemistry, or something in the health sciences. And you will work with your academic advisor, so that way they make sure that you are taking the proper classes to prepare you for medical school and the medical college assessment test, the MCATs. And they are able to guide you through that. And then once you complete your 4 years and receive your bachelor's degree, you can use that degree to apply to any program in the US, in your home country, or anywhere in the world where you want to attend medical school. And then next we'll have Carmen talk about Millikin University.
Hi. So let me start by telling you a little bit who I am. I am Carmen Aravena, Director of International Admission at Milligan University, originally a faculty member, and then I went into administration. I taught for many, many years. I'm originally from Chile, like I said, and also a writer. Who is Milligan? Milligan was founded in 1901, so the 3 universities here, we're pretty old. And it's a private school in Decatur, Illinois. Decatur is right in the center of Illinois. We're about 3 hours from Chicago, about 2.5 to 3 hours from Indianapolis, and about 2.5 hours to St. Louis. So really right in the middle. If you're familiar with Illinois, we are in between Springfield and Champaign, Urbana. It's very, very central. We international students, we have about 120 from about 37 countries. This year, a lot of them are staying put, so they didn't go home for the summer. And the few ones who did actually are taking now classes online. Some of them were not able to come back in the country. The great majority stay behind, and very few new ones arrive, but for obvious reason. We have 4 colleges. We have about 25 teams. We are Division III. We have the wonderful thing about Milligan, the ratio of 10-to-1 faculty per student, and a 96% ratio the students get a job or go to graduate school after graduation from Milligan University. So that's something very important. We are very highly ranked and nationally with our theater school, but I will talk about that when I get there. But ranked number 10 in colleges in the Midwest. About 90 or plus student organization. That's really important for international students because they form a community, and that community is usually with other students. So they do have, probably right now, we have one of the largest international student organization because all of them travel like pets and they like to be together, and we don't let them live together. So it's also very important that they get integrated to the community of Milligan University. So let me start by talking about our programs. That is, we have 50 plus academic programs, and I'm going to start, I'm going to move myself and my partners over here to the other screen so I can see it. It's kind of small, and I'm going to give you, if you go to the Milligan site, there is a view book with all these programs, and you can really see them clearly. I don't know if you can see because they are kind of small. So I'm going to start with business. Business we have divided in many programs. It's called the Tabor School of Business, and we have undergrad and grads. We have the programs for undergrads are entrepreneurship, international business, management, informational system, marketing and digital, not yet please, marketing and digital media, and business management. Those are your programs in the School of Business. So it's very diverse. And then we have the MBA. Now, something special about the School of Business is that if you come to study any of these 5 programs, you also can stay for 1 more year, so your 5th year, and you can do a MBA. So it's a 5-year program that is adding there the MBA after the business school. And then I'm going to move to PreMed. And as you can see right there, we have a lot of pre-professional programs, but the PreMed, unlike all of the other colleges, we don't have a medical school. So most students choose a program, and it could be biology, biochemistry, health sciences, and then they get to move to a medical school. When we have a very high acceptance rate in medical school, it's 99%. You have to take an exam before you can move to medical school. And now I'm going to move to the fine arts. That is really our strong programs. We are rated number 10 in the nation for our theater school in musical theater and acting. That is something that is very, very, it makes us very proud. But the theater school has acting, design and production, management. I'm trying to think here in the top of my head. It's a very, I'm going to give you all the theater school and dance. We have a BA in theater and performance, a BFA in musical theater, BFA in design and production, BFA acting, BFA stage management. So the theater school is really big. And I don't know, I can't see you guys, but I can tell you, if you have ever seen The Little Mermaid. So The Little Mermaid in the movie, The Little Mermaid was a Milligan alum. The Little Mermaid in Broadway, it was a Milligan alum. And The Little Mermaid that is in musical is also a Milligan alum. So we can have this thing about Little Mermaids. We create them. There are a lot of Milligan alums out there that they are very, very big in acting and in musical theater. And just like on any other college, for all of this, you will need a audition, especially in the theater school. The only one that does not need an audition, and that will be our VA Theater and Performance Studies. Now, don't be discouraged if you are not in the theater school to be part of our huge musicals and huge theater events. Last year, we have Phantom of the Opera, and believe it or not, the person who was the big singer in the Phantom of the Opera came from music school, and he was not even in musical theater. Now let me move to music. Music is also really big. We have all the instruments, music business, music education, music performance, and there I would like to also tell you that not only we have the symphony for the city but also many other like the jazz band, the Latin jazz band, who were, we were the only university invited to participate in the Latin jazz band in Cuba in the Havana Jazz Festival. So that is something that you can count, and the music school is really, really one of those top-notch in Central Illinois and the Midwest. And let me move to the next one. And I'm going to stop a little bit and talk about performance learning. Performance learning at Milligan is when you start Milligan in a business school, they will tell you, okay, in one of your classes, this is how much money you have to invest in the market. Now you and your group has to learn how to run this money and make money out of it. In theater and music, from day one, you will be acting, playing your instrument, or singing your life away. That is the same in science. From freshman year up to your graduation, you can be involved in research with your faculty, and that's what the 10-to-1 ratio comes in, and it's so important because you will be working from day one with your faculty in many different opportunities. Okay, so that is what it makes the 96% success after graduation. Decatur is a small town, but it has 3 multinationals. And those 3 multinationals are with 40,000 employees or more around the world. And that's ADM, Tate & Lyle, and Caterpillar. So these are huge companies that our students also get opportunity to do internship and participate. Okay, and that's about performance learning. Like the word it is, performance learning is by doing, by acting, by playing, by participating in your own career. So visit Millikin Online if you want to take a tour of the campus. It's a beautiful campus. It's right, and it's still some buildings from 1901, and they have kept the whole architecture. As you can see right there, that building is new, but it kept the oldest style. And I think we are almost done in the next one. And that is all my information that you can contact me for any question after this, or we can go back to question and answers right now, okay?
Yeah, so it looks like we have a couple of questions in the Q&A, and I know we were trying to maybe encourage you to stay tuned to the end here. So I'm going to read the questions out loud, and then we'll each answer according to our own institution in kind of the same order. So Hanover, NIU, and the Millikin. Okay. So the first question that we had was, do you have any design programs? For Hanover College, depending on what kind of design you're thinking, if you are interested in graphic design or visual design, then yes, we do. Part of our business scholars program, which is what houses our business major and minor, is actually getting its very own digital media and design lab coming this, I believe it's this spring that they're going to be able to implement that, which is going to go along with our new digital media and marketing platform concentration for our business students.
Okay, at NIU we have 2 bachelors in fine arts. One is art studio and design, and then our second one is in design and technology. It's specific to theater design. So you would be doing coursework and hands-on theater experience to design and production with costumes, lighting, scenery, in that sense. We do not have a graphic design bachelor's, but we may have classes that you may be able to take.
Okay, we do have graphic design at Milligan University, but also studio art and BFA in design and production and theater. And that is a lot of students. And studio art is in one part of the design. BFA, design and production and theater is, you know, lighting and everything that you can imagine in the theater world, but also graphic design. And arts technology, who is part of all of that design. Next question.
Yes. So our next question that we had was, do you have anything similar to neuro marketing? So at Hanover College, actually one of the benefits of a small private liberal arts college like Hanover is that sometimes you get some more flexibility with those close faculty to staff ratios to have some freedom and create your own major. One of our 34 programs is a design your own major. And in this, we have had students look at combining the business with the marketing concentration, either at a bachelor or like with a major or a minor, and the neuropsychology route. So we do have a neuropsychology as one of our concentrations within our psychology program. And then students that are looking at neuropsychology and neuromarketing basically do a combination. They can do a variety of a design your own single major, combining both the neuropsychology pathway with the marketing and design pathway, or they can do a neuropsychology major with a minor in business focusing on marketing, or vice versa, look at a psychology minor with a concentration in neuropsychology, and then do a business major with a marketing concentration. So a little bit of flexibility depending on to which side you're more heavily leaning. You're also more than welcome to do a double major. We do see a percentage of our students double major as well.
Yeah, I would say we're similar to Hanover College. We don't have neuromarketing as an actual major, but you can combine your coursework to take both marketing and psychology courses. I would probably imagine an academic advisor would want to know which side you're more focused on, and whether, if you don't want to do a double major, which some people don't, because there's a lot of work to major in two different programs. So you can either do a double major, like Wilda said, or you could do a major and a minor, and you can choose whichever one you would want to prefer focusing on as your primary.
I think that the beauty about U.S. education is that you are able to, it's not a strict curriculum. I study in Chile, and I know what it means. If you study one thing, that's what your major is going to be. In this country, you actually can study one major and add as many minors as you can afford to study. If you're really a very studious person, you can get one or two minors in your career. Marketing is one of those, in my university, is one of those careers that you can really open to other things. So you can have minors in that, but in the entrepreneurship and marketing media, you can actually have that opportunity of doing marketing and psychology, marketing and communication. They are combined. But the most important thing that you can remember about this, I wish we knew the names of the students that we're talking to. It is that in this country, you can do that. You can have a major and a minor. And that minor sometime might take your heart, and you might change that you don't want to do this major and you're going to take your minor as a major. And that you have the opportunity to do. Okay.
Our next question is, do any of us have any advice on which major or minor or program would be best for private banking? So at Hanover College, the best route for working in the private banking sector, or even the finance sector, is going to be looking at our business major through our business scholars program, and then doing the finance concentration. So you don't have to do a concentration with our business scholars program. You can just get your bachelor's in business, but having that additional concentration also allows that paid project-based internship to focus on financial interests of yours. So if you're interested in private banking, then before you leave Hanover, you will be working exclusively with private banking sectors and organizations, so that you get the experience and also the connections that are so essential in business.
I would say, based on one of our recent alums who went to work in the banking industry, he was actually a double major in finance and economics, and also had a minor in math and statistics. So definitely probably would focus on something within either the College of Business, either finance, or even business administration, and then maybe even a math or financial economics, which are programs that we offer at Northern Illinois University.
I think that you always have to think about, okay, this is what my interest is right now. So get your feet wet and go into business management, and then you can have or finance, that at Milligan they are majors, or mathematics, because in that you can actually, mathematics actually at Milligan, you can divide mathematics into actuarial science or data science, who are really, really important for if you want to go into banking or insurance company. So just at the beginning, you don't have to really stick to just one thing. And like I'm going back to probably to the prior question, you don't have to stick to just that. See what your interest really is when you get to university. You know, by now you are asking about banking, so you probably know that you want to do that. So start in the business school. You have the opportunity at the beginning to see all the branches of the business school, and all universities will offer you that. In that sense, we're very similar in this country. So when you see what is offered in the business school, you can start, you will have always an advisor, somebody who's going to guide you. And it's going to tell you, okay, so this is what you want to do. This is the program that you want to follow during the 4 years before you graduate. Where are you going to be able to do your internship? And if you get internships, how good they're going to be to allow you to look what your job is going to be eventually when you graduate.
I will just add that as a student, all the power is in your hands.
Yes,
you do not get penalized if you decide to start in one major and then you decide, you know what, I don't want to follow this major. I want to do something different. So you have all the power right there in your hands, and the ability, like Carmen said, to talk to your advisor, and they can assist you if they see that you're questioning 2 different majors or 2 different areas. They may tell you, hey, how about you take a class here and see how you test the waters with an introduction course, and then you can make a decision.
My own daughter started as a pre-med, and I thought I will have a free doctor for the rest of my life. But and then after a year, she came home and she said, I'm changing my major to anthropology and filmmaking. And I said, okay, well, no more doctor in the family, but guess what? She is in New York doing what she loves and working in the film industry. That's what the ability for you to see your own future is going to be, like she says, right up to you. And it's not penalty, except maybe the parents getting a little headache like the day I got that news. But the rest is up to you. You're going to see your future when you enter a college or university in this country, because you're going to have that ability. You're going to be able to look and say, okay, hey, here is what I want to do, and here is how I'm going to do it. You know, and it's, yes, that's a really good point, Arestu, and no penalty. No penalty, because all your classes will count when you move to another one. Well, we extended in that question. So what is the next one, Wilda?
The next question is, do you have any aeronautical engineering or aviation programs?
No.
Yeah. The short answer for Hanover College is no, we don't have an aviation program, and we don't have an aeronautical engineering program specifically. However, kind of going back to that design your own major, we have engineering, we have aerospace and astronomy courses, and then we have a very developed physics course. And putting those three together, which you can actually do, it's a rigorous course, but you can put those three together because we have a current alum who works with Sambor Aviation. He is in charge, well, he works alongside the engineering and the FAA kind of administrative side of things, and designing the cockpit, the aviation, FAA paperwork, the field work, the mathematical equations with the engineering department, and essentially doing the test flights alongside the other engineers and flight testers, that's what their actual position is. So when you get creative enough in certain ways, if that's the field you want to go into, you need to know what do you need to know. With engineering, you're going to need to know your systems, whether it's electrical or mechanical. With the added aviation, you'll need to know probably some additional aeronautic courses that might fall into a physics special course that we offer every once in a while. And then obviously knowing the mathematical equation with any of the aeronautical and the engineering. It's a huge math industry that a lot of students don't necessarily realize right away.
At NIU, we do not have aeronautical engineering as one of our engineering programs, nor do we have aviation. But if you are looking to stay in the Illinois state, we do have a wonderful university called Lewis University.
Yes, I was going to say
and one of their primary academics is an aviation program. So
she's absolutely correct. There are very few universities in this country who offer, and Lewis is one of the few, and a very, very good. I will highly recommend that you go. I mean, in this business, we're not fighting for each other who is going to get the students. It's finding you, the student, the best option. And she's absolutely correct. They are the prime, and they have wonderful scholarship.
If you're wanting to go into aviation,
I'm glad you put it
aviation school because it definitely is a tight knit group that has that offering.
Yes, and we do have engineering, but not
right.
Aviation is a very specific.
Very specific.
Okay.
So the next question we have is a little bit more general. It's what are good majors to choose right now? For Hanover, I mean, it's really. It's your playing field. You know, we've said it before. It's education is your education. And so it's just working with an advisor on what your goals are in a career, what your interests are, not only just in a career interest, but also your hobby interests, right? You want to enjoy what you are doing. And then working with, you know, what is your program? Are you looking for a 4-year program? Are you looking to continue into a graduate, whether that's master's or a doctorate level degree? So kind of looking at what you want first, and where you're wanting to take that. So if you're wanting to go and take it back to your home country, is there a job availability for that topic, right? We want you to be successful afterwards. We like to say we're not setting you up to just come for 1 year, but we're setting you up to be a lifelong learner and to continually succeed in whatever it is that you do. So, and like Carmen mentioned, so many times students come in and they have this one thing in mind, and it could be a week into school or it could be 2 years into school, and they found a new passion, and that's what we want you to be able to succeed in. Absolutely. So as far as right now, you can look at the logical side and break it down with what job availabilities are there, what kind of schooling, what can you afford, what do you like already. But honestly, so many students come in and change their mind very quickly because they find a new passion.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I don't know that that's really particular to anyone's school, but.
No, I think I totally agree. Students have to find their passion. And sometimes when we are young and come into the university, we are a little bit blinded by what we think of the shiny object that we thought it would be a career, until you get there and one faculty member or anybody in the university, when they work with you and you go like, oh, this is what I want to do. So be ready for that. Be ready for that moment. If you don't know right now, be ready for that moment. It will happen. It absolutely will happen.
Yeah, and I don't know about.
You know, you have to think. Oh, I'm sorry, interrupt.
No,
you have to think that the first year you have a lot of general classes. You have a lot of classes that are going to be for any student coming to the university. In this country, remember, you don't go to specific programs. You don't go just to biology. You have to take the general ed classes and you have to pass all of those to get to the specific of that biology program or that theater program. So you have the time and the opportunity to see what is your shiny object, because that's what you're going to follow.
Yeah. Oftentimes we say we really welcome the undecided student because
Oh yeah,
they are just
have a
an
program that's
unmolded
so
clay.
undecided.
So sometimes I get reinvigorated with what I want to do because of the passions that they bring up. So it's really an open playing field for everyone.
Yeah.
Looks like maybe possibly our last question. If you have any more questions, feel free to pop them in the Q&A. But there was a question about scholarship availability.
And I didn't talk about that, yes.
Yeah. So at Hanover College, we have a couple of different scholarship availability opportunities. The first one is based on academic merit for international students. So when you submit your transcripts and your test scores or anything like that, letters of recommendation, anything to that extent, then we evaluate based on academic merit, and 100% of our international students have a merit scholarship. And then we do meet need as well, demonstrated need based, which is when you file basically the international college financial paperwork for us. And then we also have a couple of additional scholarships that students can apply for that are competitive. I mentioned the music scholarship. For any student that's just interested in continuing either their instrumental or vocal music, they can continue to do so with a scholarship, and they don't have to be a music or a vocal student exclusively.
Yeah, so we have 2 scholarships in our office that students can be automatically considered for based on their application and supporting documentation. One is merit-based and one has to do with campus housing. A student would find out upon admission whether or not they have received the scholarship. These scholarships are renewable as long as you maintain the minimum GPA requirement. Besides our office's scholarship, our scholarship office has a listing of all scholarships that students are eligible for. Now, as international students, there are some scholarships that unfortunately you cannot apply for because they require U.S. citizenship or permanent residency, but don't be discouraged. You will find that there are many scholarships within the colleges, within the scholarship office, within the campus that are all merit-based, and if you don't apply for them, you'll never know whether or not you had a shot for them. So do your research on the websites, ask the questions to each institution or even your department that you're interested in studying, because sometimes even though it may not be on the scholarship website, it may be somewhere hidden on the department website.
That is a very good point, very good point. We do have a very large merit international scholarship that all the students who apply from overseas, all my international students get. That depends on your scores and in your GPA. That is the Milligan International Merit Scholarship, and sometimes it goes up to $27,000. So if you're a good student, you get a big chunk of money. You also can participate in our presidential. Presidential means that it's free tuition, but not free room and board. So be careful with that, because a lot of the students sometimes get confused. They think the presidential is everything. It's not. And then the College of Fine Arts, I didn't say this, but if you get accepted into the College of Fine Arts, your scholarship can go from about $500 to $5,000. So, and that is on top of your merit. So if your addition goes really well, or your portfolio that you're sending to the art school for art studio or arts technology, for movie making, for a lot of those programs, you can get also more money there. And Alice was totally correct. There are so many other scholarships. Remember, international students are not allowed to have financial aid, meaning state and federal money. But in a private institution like mine, there are many other monies that they are not from a state or federal. They are private, or they are Millikin money, they are alumni money that is donated to scholarship. So please investigate, go to my view book. It is in my portal, the Milligan University portal, and look at the scholarships. And yes, do your research, because that is going to be really important when you apply, okay? And will make your parents very happy.
Yeah.
I think we're done.
And just ask your counselors about it.
Oh yeah, that's the question.
They will be able to direct you directly to where those scholarships are on those websites.
You know, when you do your application for Milligan, if you do directly or you do it in the Common App, make sure that you take names down and email, and make sure that all your documents were sent, because all of us will be asking you for a ton of documents. And those documents, if we don't have all of them, we cannot admit you. And we don't have all of them, we cannot tell you how much money you are going to get from our university. So that is why it's so important that when you do your application, send your documents right away. Make sure that all of them are attached in the Common App, okay? That's about it. Well, this has been very good.
We've got two more quick questions. Maybe
Okay, quick.
So the first one, are IB classes useful for applying? At Hanover, yes, we look at your preparation for college, and I think, yes, it's very helpful for all of us and in various ways.
But remember that they have to have their IB exam, just like an AP. You have to have your exam to count as an IB.
Yep, and then we will, depending on the number of IB exams that you take, you may get anywhere between a semester's worth or more of credit just based on your IB exam and your scores.
But you have to have your IB exam. You can't just tell us that you were through an IB program, because that's wonderful. And I know you will be more than prepared to study in this country. But if you don't have your IB exam, we cannot give you credit for them. And the next one?
The next question is, do you ask for the SAT? So Hanover,
Wait, I didn't hear it.
Do you ask for the SAT?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and right now, especially, I think it's important for this question. So Hanover, for international students, we do still require some sort of a testing format, because we need it for a federal paperwork, depending on how we are certified for international studies. We actually accept over 9 different tests for language proficiency.
Language?
They're all listed on our international application website. And the one I commonly direct students to look at is like a Duolingo as well, or the ACTFL is a new one. It's all online. You don't have to see a testing center, and they're more economic as well. So we do accept the SAT through a lot of international schools will run that throughout their school curriculum. So we of course accept it, but we have other alternatives if you're not able to sit in for an SAT exam, especially with everything going on and how the testing's happening.
At NIU, we do not require the SAT out of any of our students. Our university has decided to go test blind. So we know international students to begin with never needed to submit SATs unless they attended a US high school, but now our university no longer looks at SAT or ACT.
Yeah, we don't, and we have never done it. Milligan University has always test optional for our international students, and now with Corona and what has happened this year, it's test optional for the whole university. Now going to the English testing, that's different, and we never accepted an SAT or ACT in replacement of a language. That is, I want to make emphasis on that. Duolingo, TOEFL, IELTS, those are your English language proficiency. But the ACT, we don't worry about it, so we don't take it. And that takes, I think, a lot of the students weight off their shoulders when we said necessary. Okay.
This is, yeah, that's a really good question to ask your
Last one.
counselor specifically.
And then one other thing to point out to the students is to look at the session files that are attached to this presentation. And the PowerPoint presentation is actually one of the downloadable PDFs as well. So if you need to go back to see something, that's something that's on there.
Yeah, and please, if you have a question, email us. Email us. We will be more than happy to answer any questions that you have, specifically about the university or about anything in this country, about higher education.
Thank you so much for tuning in today and taking some time to get to know our different institutions and just to get a chance to get your questions there.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.